Imagine you are standing at your own funeral. You are there. You can see everything. You can hear everything, but no one can see you. The room is quiet. There are a few people. Some of them are crying, but most of them just look sad in a polite way, the way people look sad when they hear about something that did not really touch their lives very much. And as you stand there looking at the wooden box that holds what used to be you, you feel something strange. You feel a hand on your shoulder. You turn around and you see yourself, but it is not the you that you know. This man standing before you is tall, not in his body, but in the way he carries himself. His eyes are clear. His face is at peace. He looks like a man who slept well every night of his life, not because life was easy for him, but because he knew why he was alive. He is dressed simply, but there is something rich about him. Not rich in the way money makes a man look, but rich in the way that purpose makes a man carry himself. He looks like a man who finished something important, and you ask him, who are you? And he says, I am you. I am the version of you that did what you were sent to do. And suddenly everything in your chest breaks open because you recognize it. You have seen him before in small flashes, in quiet moments when you were alone and you felt something deep inside you pulling you towards something bigger. You felt him calling to you. You just never answered. You look at the box again. You look at the few people in the room and you ask him, did anyone even notice that I was gone? And he's quiet for a moment. Then he says, they noticed you were gone, but they never really noticed you were here. That is the story of most people who walk this earth. Not that they were bad people, not that they were lazy people, but that they were busy people who were busy with everything except the one thing they were sent here to do. They woke up every morning, they ate breakfast, they went to work, they came home, they watched something on a screen, they went to sleep, and they did that again and again and again until one day they did not wake up anymore. And the earth received them back the same way it receives a rock or a fallen leaf, quietly, without ceremony, without loss. Because the world did not lose anything when they left. Because the world never received anything from them while they were here. This is not a small problem. This is the greatest tragedy on earth. And I want to talk to you about it today. The difference between existing and living. Let me tell you something that will make you sit up straight. Rocks exist. Trees exist. Rivers exist. Clouds exist. A chair in your bedroom exists. A stone on the side of the road exists. These things take up space. They can be seen, they can be touched, but they have no assignment. They were not sent here. They simply are here. When a rock falls into a river, the river moves around it. The rock does not change the river just adjusts and keeps going. When that rock crumbles after many years and becomes dust, no one mourns the rock. No one says, the world is different because that rock is gone. The world just continues. Now, a tree also exists, but a tree was designed to do something. A tree was designed to take the poison in the air and turn it into the air we need to breathe. A tree was designed to hold the ground together with its roots so the soil does not wash away. A tree was designed to give shade, to hold fruit, to give a home to birds and to small creatures. A tree has a purpose built into it. When a tree stops doing what it was made to do, when it becomes a dead tree just standing in a field, it starts to become a problem. Dead wood falls on things. Dead wood catches fire. A dead tree is now a danger where it was once a blessing. You are not a rock. You are not a tree. You are a human being, and you were not just placed here. You were sent here. There is a difference between being placed and being sent. When something is placed, it is just put somewhere. When something is sent, it is given a destination, a purpose, and a message to deliver. You were not placed on this earth. You were sent. The problem is that most people are living like rocks. They exist, they take up space, they are seen, they are touched, they interact with other people, but they are not delivering anything. They are not fulfilling anything. They woke up this morning and the world did not receive what they were supposed to bring to it. And I want you to understand something deeply. Existence and living are not the same thing. Existence means you are here. Living means you are doing here what you were sent here to do. A man can breathe for 90 years and never live one single day. A man can eat and sleep and work and laugh and never once step into the assignment that called him to this earth. That is not living. That is existing in a warm body. And the tragedy is not that such a man dies. The tragedy is that such a man dies full of the things he never did, full of the gifts he never gave, full of the books he never wrote, full of the businesses he never started, full of the children he never properly raised, full of the ideas he never acted on, full of the love he was too afraid to express. He goes to the grave carrying a treasure that the earth never got to see. That is the real funeral, not the one with the box and the flowers. The real funeral happens every morning when a man wakes up and decides once again to just get through the day. God does not create accidents. Now I want to tell you something about the God who made you, and I want you to listen to this carefully because this is the foundation of everything. God does not create accidents. God does not make things without a reason. He has never, not once, in all of history, brought something into existence just to fill space. Everything that comes from the hand of God comes with a purpose already inside it. Everything. Not most things. Everything. When God made light, he made it because there was a situation that needed light. When God made water, he made it because there was a need that water would meet. When God made the soil, he made it because there was a function that the soil would perform. Purpose always comes before the product. God never makes something and then figures out what to use it for later. The purpose is the first thing. The purpose is the idea. The creation is just the purpose becoming visible. So when God made you, he did not make you and then wonder what to do with you. He had an idea first. He saw something that was needed on the earth. He saw something that was missing. He saw a gap that needed to be filled, a problem that needed to be solved, a gift that needed to be given. And then he made you. You were not the beginning of the story. You were the answer to a question that the earth was already asking. You are not here by accident. You are not the result of chance. You did not simply happen. You were designed. You were thought about. You were planned. And you were sent at exactly the right time and to exactly the right place because the assignment that is inside you fits precisely into the moment of history you were born into. Now, I want you to think about what this means. It means that if you do not do what you were sent to do, it does not just affect you. It affects every person who was supposed to receive something from you. It affects every problem that was supposed to be solved by your gift. It affects the part of the world that was waiting for the answer that is inside of you. When you waste your life, you do not just waste your own time. You rob the world of something it needed. And the world does not even know what it lost because it never got to see it. That is the cruelest kind of theft. You can steal money from a man and he knows his money is gone. But when you withhold your purpose from the world does not know what it is missing. It just keeps struggling with the problem that you were sent to solve. Think about that for a moment. You are the answer to a question. And somewhere in the world, that question is still being asked. And the world is still waiting for the answer. And the answer is sitting inside of you, sleeping, buried under fear and distraction and the noise of just trying to get through the day. This is why I say what I say. This is why I am so urgent when I speak. Because it is not just your life at stake. It is the life of everyone who was supposed to be touched by what is inside of you. You matter not just to yourself. You matter to the world. And the world cannot afford for you to just exist. The seed. I want to talk to you about a seed. You hold a seed in your hand. A small thing. You can close your fingers around it. You can lose it in your pocket. You can drop it without even noticing. It is small, quiet, brown, and to most eyes it looks like nothing. It looks like it is finished. It looks like something that has no more life in it. But inside that tiny, quiet, brown, dead-looking thing is something that no man has ever been able to build. Inside that seed is a forest, not just a tree, a forest. Because that one seed, if you plant it, will grow a tree, and that tree will produce seeds, and those seeds will grow more trees, and those trees will produce more seeds. And on it goes until one small seed that you can lose in your pocket becomes a forest that covers hills and houses animals and changes the atmosphere of a region. The forest was always in the seed. The forest did not come from outside the seed. The forest was inside the seed from the moment the seed was made. The seed is not empty, the seed is full. The seed is the fullest thing on earth because a seed carries more potential in it than what you can see. You are a seed. You look at yourself and you see what you are right now. You see your age, your education, your bank account, your neighborhood, your past mistakes, your failed relationships, your missed opportunities. You see the small, brown, quiet thing that seems like it has no more life in it. And you say, there is nothing in me. I have nothing to give. I am too old. I am too broken. I have wasted too much time. But that is because you are looking at the outside of the seed. You are judging the seed by what it looks like, not by what it contains. Inside of you, there is a forest. Inside of you, there are ideas that could change industries. Inside of you, there are solutions that could solve problems that governments have been fighting for decades. Inside of you, there are songs that could reach into the chest of a man who has given up on life and pull him back. Inside of you, there are teachings that could turn a generation of lost young people into a generation of builders and creators. Inside of you, there are businesses that could give work to hundreds of families. Inside of you, there are books that could outlive you by centuries and still be speaking truth to people long after your body is gone. The forest is in you, but a seed must be planted to become what it contains. A seed that stays in your pocket is just a seed. A seed that stays on the shelf is just a seed. A seed must go into the ground, and going into the ground is not comfortable. Going into the ground looks like dying. The seed breaks open. The hard shell cracks. Everything that gave the seed its shape is destroyed, and from that breaking, life comes out. This is why so many people never become their forests, because they are not willing to be broken open. They are not willing to crack. They hold themselves together so tightly, protecting their comfort, protecting their safety, protecting their image, that the life inside them never gets out. You have to plant yourself. You have to choose to go into the ground. You have to be willing to crack open, to let go of the old shape, to lose what you thought you were, so that what you really are can come out and grow. The seed does not negotiate with the ground. The seed does not say, I will go in halfway. The seed does not say, I will let my roots go down but keep my shell intact. The seed gives itself completely, and because of that, a forest comes out. You must give yourself completely to your purpose. Not halfway, not in your spare time, not when it is convenient, completely, fully, without holding back. That is the only way the forest gets out. The tragedy of the man who is 70 years old. I want to paint a picture for you now, and I want you to let this picture go all the way into your heart, because it is the most painful picture I know. A man is 70 years old. He is sitting in a chair by a window. His hair is white and thin. His hands have wrinkles in them that were not there 40 years ago. His body moves slowly. His eyes are tired. And in the quiet of the afternoon, with the sun coming through the curtains, he begins to think. He thinks about the business he always wanted to start. He had the idea when he was 32. He could see it clearly. He knew how to do it. He had the skill for it. But he was afraid. He said, let me wait until I have a little more money. Let me wait until the children are older. Let me wait until things settle down. Let me wait until next year. And next year came, and he waited again. He thinks about the book he always wanted to write. He had the title in his head for 20 years. He had the chapters mapped out. He had lived enough to fill 3 books with real stories and real wisdom. But he always said, I will write it when I retire. I will write it when I have time. I will write it when things are quiet. And now things are quiet. Now he has the time. but the words will not come the way they used to come, and the fire that used to burn under the idea has gone down to a very small flame, and he knows sitting in that chair that the book is not going to happen now. He thinks about the gift he had for music. He could play by ear since he was a boy. He could hear a song once and play it back on any instrument he touched. But music did not seem like a serious thing. Music did not seem like something a man builds a life on. So he put his instrument away and went and did serious things. And for 48 years, the music sat inside him, playing only in his head, never going out into the world where it belonged. He thinks about the people he could have helped. The younger man who needed a mentor, and he was too busy. The community that needed a leader, and he kept his head down. The children who needed to hear what he knew, and he kept it to himself because he did not think his life was interesting enough to share. And sitting in that chair at 70 years old with the sun coming through the curtains, this man does not feel at peace. He does not feel the satisfaction of a life well spent. He feels something much worse. He feels the weight of everything he was and never used. He feels the heaviness of a life unlived inside a life that looked from the outside like it was going fine. This is the greatest pain a human being can feel. Not the pain of failure, not the pain of loss, the pain of reaching the end and knowing you never started. I have spoken to many older people in my years of ministry, and when I ask them about their regrets, they never say, I wish I had watched more television. They never say, I wish I had worked more overtime. They never say, I wish I had played it safer. The regrets are always about the same thing. The things they did not do, the gifts they did not use, the words they did not say, the chances they did not take. They wish they had started earlier. They wish they had been braver. They wish they had believed in themselves more. They wish they had listened to that voice inside them that kept calling them towards something bigger. Do not be that man in the chair. Do not be that woman looking back at a life of almost. Do not wait until you are 70 to start living the life you were sent here to live. Start now. Start today. Start with what you have, where you are, with exactly what is in your hand right now. Because the seeds you plant today are the forests that someone else in the future will walk through and be grateful for. How to find your gift. Now, someone is listening to me and saying, but I do not know what my purpose is. I do not know what my gift is. I have been alive for all these years and I still do not know what I am here to do. Someone is saying, how do I find it? Let me tell you how to find it. Let me make it very simple. Your gift is the thing that makes you feel alive. That is the starting point. Not the thing that makes you money, not yet. Not the thing that impresses people, not the thing that your parents wanted you to be, the thing that makes you feel alive. The thing that when you are doing it, time disappears. The thing that when you're doing it, you forget to be tired. The thing that when you are doing it, you feel like you are finally doing what you were made to do. Every human being has felt this at least once. Every person has had at least one moment where they were doing something and they thought, this is it. This is what I am. You had that moment. Maybe it was when you were teaching someone something and you saw their eyes light up with understanding. Maybe it was when you were building something with your hands and you stood back and looked at what you had made and you felt proud of it in a way that was deeper than normal pride. Maybe it was when you were telling a story and you saw the whole room lean in toward you. Maybe it was when you cooked a meal and you watched people eat it and feel joy. Maybe it was when you organized something that was chaotic and brought order to it and everyone around you breathed easier because of what you did. That moment, that feeling, that is the fingerprint of your purpose. Write it down. Think about it. When did you feel most alive? When did time disappear? When did you feel like you were not working but playing? When did you feel like you were not doing a job but doing yourself? Because your gift is not separate from who you are. Your gift is the most natural expression of who you are. It is what flows out of you without much effort. It is the thing that other people struggle with that comes easily to you. It is the thing that you learned without being taught. The thing you knew before you studied it. The thing that feels like home when you are doing it. Now, let me tell you something very important about this. Your gift will always serve other people. A gift that only benefits you is not a gift, it is a hobby. A real gift A God-given purpose always points outward. It is always in the direction of other people. It is always toward a need that exists in the world. Your gift was not given to you for your own satisfaction. Your gift was given to the world. It was just placed inside of you for safekeeping. You are the carrier of something that does not belong to you. It belongs to the people who need it. This is why you cannot afford to hide it. When a doctor hides his gift, people die from diseases that could have been treated. When a teacher hides a gift, children grow up confused and without direction. When a builder hides his gift, communities live without the structures they need. When a leader hides his gift, people wander without guidance. Your gift is not just about your fulfillment. Your gift is about other people's survival. Let me also tell you this. Do not confuse your gift with your comfort. Sometimes your gift will make you uncomfortable. Sometimes your gift will ask you to stand up in front of people who intimidate you. Sometimes your gift will ask you to go to places that scare you. Sometimes your gift will ask you to say things that make other people uncomfortable. The gift does not always feel like comfort. Sometimes the gift feels like a calling that is bigger than you, and you have to grow to meet it. But when you are doing it, even if it is hard, even if it is scary, there is a deep satisfaction underneath the fear. There is a knowing that you are in the right place doing the right thing. That deep satisfaction under the fear is still the voice of purpose. Do not be fooled by the fear. The fear does not mean you are wrong. The fear means you are about to step into something real. And let me say one more thing about finding your gift. Stop asking other people what it is. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are good enough or ready enough or qualified enough. Other people cannot see what is inside of you. Only you know what is inside of you. Only you know what makes you come alive. Only you know what you think about in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Only you know the dreams that come back again and again, even when you try to ignore them. The answer is already inside you. You do not need to find it. You need to stop running from it. The prison of other people's opinions. I want to talk to you about a prison. This prison does not have walls made of stone. It does not have bars made of iron. But it is more effective at keeping people trapped than any physical prison ever built. This prison is built out of the opinions of other people. Many people who have never lived their purpose have never lived it, not because they did not know what it was, but because they were afraid of what other people would say about it. They were afraid their family would think they were crazy. They were afraid their friends would laugh. They were afraid people who knew them when they were small would not take them seriously. They were afraid of criticism. They were afraid of failure in public. And so they stayed small. They stayed in their lane. They did what was expected of them. They built a life that looked reasonable and sensible and respectable on the outside, and they went to the grave without ever once doing the thing that was screaming to come out of them. I want to say something to you plainly. The people whose opinions you're afraid of are not going to be at your funeral. Most of them are not going to remember your name in 20 years. The people who are laughing at your dream right now are not going to pay your bills when you are old. The people who are telling you to be realistic are themselves not living their own purposes. They gave up on their own dreams a long time ago, and the sight of someone still trying makes them uncomfortable. And that discomfort comes out as discouragement. Do not take advice about your purpose from people who have not fulfilled theirs. When the Wright brothers told people they were going to build a machine that could fly, people thought they were crazy. When Nelson Mandela talked about a free South Africa, people told him it was impossible. When every great person in history first announced their assignment, the first response from the crowd was doubt, ridicule, and resistance. The crowd is always behind the vision. The crowd always catches up later. The crowd that laughed at you today will be telling their grandchildren that they knew you when you were starting out. That is the way it always goes. You just have to be willing to be ahead of the crowd long enough for them to catch up. And here is the real secret. You do not need the crowd to believe in you. You need to believe in you. You need the God who put the thing inside of you to confirm it, and he already has confirmed it. Every time you feel that pull toward your purpose, every time that dream comes back to you, every time you see something in the world and your heart says, I could do something about this, that is your confirmation. That is the manufacturer calling the product back to its design. Stop letting other people's small thinking shrink your large purpose. Get out of that prison. The door is not locked. It was never locked. You just believed it was. Distraction is the enemy of destiny. Let me talk to you about something that is destroying more lives than any virus, any war, any economic collapse. I want to talk to you about distraction. We live in the most distracted time in human history. We have more noise around us, more information coming at us, more things demanding our attention than any generation before us has ever had to deal with. And the enemy of purpose is not always opposition. Sometimes the enemy is not something that is trying to stop you. Sometimes the enemy is something that is just making noise, something that is pulling your eyes away from what matters, something that is filling up your hours so that when you look back over a day or a week or a year, you realize that you spent it all consuming and nothing producing. Let me be honest with you. You can spend a whole lifetime consuming content, consuming entertainment, consuming other people's stories, consuming food, watching other people's success, listening to other people's opinions, reacting to other people's news. And none of that consumption will produce 1 ounce of your purpose. Purpose is not found in consumption. Purpose is found in creation. You were not sent here to consume the world. You were sent here to add to it. You were sent here to create something, build something, give something, solve something. The world is already full of consumers. What the world is starving for is creators. People who will take what is inside them and put it out into the world where other people can be fed by it. Every hour you spend consuming what other people made is an hour you did not spend making what you were designed to make. Now, I am not saying that rest is wrong. I am not saying that relaxation is sin. Rest is important. Recovery is important. Even God rested. But there is a difference between rest that prepares you to produce and distraction that prevents you from producing. Rest fills you up so you can give more. Distraction empties you out and gives you nothing back. Be honest with yourself. Look at how you spend your hours. Look at where your days go. Because purpose is not going to compete with your distractions. Purpose is going to wait for you. It will keep knocking. It will keep calling. But it will not force you. The gift inside you will not wrestle the phone out of your hand. It will not turn off the screen for you. It will not arrange your schedule. You have to do that. You have to choose your purpose over your distractions. Every day, sometimes every hour. The most important discipline in the life of a purposeful person is the discipline of the attention. You must learn to guard what you give your attention to. Because where your attention goes, your life goes. If you give your attention to other people's drama, your life becomes dramatic and empty. If you give your attention to your purpose, your life becomes meaningful and full. Guard your attention like it is the most valuable thing you have. Because it is. You were not made to fit in. Someone needs to hear this today. You were not made to fit in. You were made to stand out. You were made to be different. Not strange for the sake of being strange. Not different to get attention, but different because the assignment inside you is unique and the world has never seen it before and it will never see it again after you are gone. There's never been another person exactly like you in all of human history. Your combination of experiences, your way of seeing things, your background, your pain, your joy, your skills, your thoughts, your voice, your story, all of that together makes something that God has never made before and will never make again. You are a one-time production. You are not a copy of anyone. You're not supposed to be a copy of anyone. But the pressure of life, the pressure of school, the pressure of family, the pressure of society is always pushing you to fit into a shape that was made for someone else. It is always trying to make you smaller, quieter, more predictable, more average, more like everyone around you. And many people, after years of this pressure, succeed in becoming someone they were never supposed to be. They became normal. They became average. They became like everyone else. And they call it settling down, growing up, being realistic. But what it really is the death of the unique thing that God put in them. I want to say to you today, do not succeed at becoming someone else. Do not be so good at fitting in that you forget what you were made to stand for. The world does not need another copy. The world needs the original. And the original is you, the one you have been hiding, The one you have been apologizing for? The one you have been trying to make smaller so other people are more comfortable around you? Step into your original self. Be what you were made to be, not what the crowd has decided is acceptable. The people who changed the world were never the people who fit in best. They were always the people who could not help but stand out. And they stood out not because they were trying to be different, but because they were being exactly themselves. And being exactly themselves turned out to be profoundly different from everyone around them. Be exactly yourself. It is more radical than you think. The price of purpose. Now, I want to be honest with you because I have seen too many people think that purpose means easy. They think that if they find their calling, everything will suddenly be smooth and beautiful and the road will open up before them like a garden path on a sunny morning. That is not what I said, and that is not what is true. Purpose has a price. Fulfilling your calling will cost you something. In many cases, it will cost you a great deal. It will cost you comfort. You cannot stay comfortable and also be fully in your purpose. Comfort and purpose pull in opposite directions. Comfort says, stay where you are, everything is fine here. Purpose says, move forward, there is more to do. You cannot follow both at the same time. It will cost you the approval of certain people. When you step into your purpose, some people who loved you in your safe and predictable life will not know what to do with the new version of you. Some of them will say you have changed, and they will not mean it as a compliment. Some of them will pull away from you. Some of them will try to pull you back. When that happens, wish them well and keep moving. Not everyone who was with you in the beginning is supposed to be with you at the destination. Some people are in your life for a season, and some for a reason, and very few for a lifetime. Discern the difference and do not let the seasonal people determine the direction of your lifetime assignment. It will cost you time. Deep, concentrated, focused time. The kind that cannot be given to 100 other things at once. You will have to say no to many things in order to say yes to the thing that matters most. No is one of the most powerful words in the vocabulary of a purposeful person. Every yes you give to something that is not your assignment is a no to your assignment. Learn to say no without guilt, without long explanations, without apology. No, I cannot. No, that is not for me. No, thank you. Short and clean and free. And purpose will cost you your ego. Your assignment is bigger than your ego. Your purpose is not about making you look important. It is about serving something that is bigger than you. The moment you start doing your purpose for the applause, you've lost the plot. Purpose is about giving, not receiving. It is about adding to the world, not being celebrated by it. The celebration may come, and if it comes, receive it with gratitude. But do not make the celebration the goal. Make the serving the goal. These are the costs, and they are real. And I am not going to pretend they are not. But let me tell you what you get in return. You get peace, not the peace that the world gives, the kind that depends on circumstances being right, but the deep, quiet peace of a man who knows who he is and why he is here and what he is doing. That peace cannot be bought. It cannot be earned by achievement alone. It only comes when you are aligned with your purpose. It comes when the inside and the outside of your life are pointing in the same direction. You get meaning. Every day becomes meaningful when it is connected to a purpose. Even the hard days, the days when nothing seems to work, the days when you are tired and discouraged, even those days have meaning when they are days spent on your assignment. A hard day in your purpose is better than an easy day outside of it. You get the joy of becoming. Because when you are living your purpose, you are always growing, always learning, always becoming more of what you were made to be. And there is a deep joy in that growth that nothing else can replicate. And you get the knowledge that when you leave this earth, you will not leave it full of unused gifts. You will leave it having given what you were sent to give. And that is the greatest thing any human being can leave behind. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. I want to address something that is stealing the destiny of thousands of people. It is something that sounds very wise when you say it, but it's actually a very sophisticated form of fear. It is called waiting for perfect conditions. People say, I will start when I have enough money. I will start when I have more education. I will start when the children are grown. I will start when the economy is better. I will start when I feel more confident. I will start when I have the right connections. I will start when I have the right equipment. I will start when everything is in place. And everything is never fully in place. That is the nature of conditions. They are never perfect. There is always one more thing missing, one more reason to wait, one more obstacle standing between where you are and where you are going. The man who waits for perfect conditions before he plants will never plant, and the man who never plants will never harvest. You start with what you have. You start where you are. You use the tools in your hand right now. Moses had a staff. David had a sling and 5 stones. The widow had a little oil. The boy had 5 loaves and 2 fish. Nobody in the story of purpose ever started with everything they needed. They started with the little that they had, and as they moved forward in obedience to their calling, the provision came. The provision follows the obedience. It does not come before it. If God waited for you to have everything in place before you started, he would never need to be involved in your story at all. He sends you with enough to start, not enough to finish. The rest comes as you go. That is how faith works. That is how purpose works. You take the first step with what is in your hand, and the next step is revealed when you take the first one. Stop waiting. Start moving. An imperfect beginning is better than a perfect delay. An imperfect business started today is better than a perfect business that never begins. An imperfect book written and published is better than a perfect book that only exists in your head. An imperfect speech given from a trembling platform is better than a perfect speech that is never delivered. Start imperfect. You will get better as you go. Everyone who is excellent today started imperfect. Everyone. There is not a master in any craft who did not begin as a stumbling beginner. The difference between the master and the person who never starts is simply this. The master kept going after the imperfect beginning. Keep going. Your pain has a purpose too. This is a word for someone who has been through something hard, someone who has suffered, someone who carries wounds that have not fully healed, someone who looks at their past and sees so much pain that it's hard to imagine that anything good could come out of it. I want to tell you something that I know to be deeply true. Your pain has a purpose too. The things you went through that broke you were also the things that made you understand something that a person who never broke cannot understand. The valleys you walked through gave you a map of valleys that you can now give to others who are walking through the same darkness. The healing you fought for is the healing that you can now offer to other people who are still sick with the same sickness you once had. Your story is not a liability. Your story is an asset. The most broken part of your past is often the most powerful part of your testimony. There are people sitting in rooms right now, crying in the dark, feeling like no one in the world has ever felt what they are feeling, and you have felt what they are feeling. You survive what they are afraid they will not survive. And if you step into your purpose, if you use your story the way it was designed to be used, you can walk into that dark room and turn on a light for that person. Do not waste your pain. Do not just survive it and move on and try to forget it. Carry it forward into your purpose. Let it inform your work. Let it give your message the depth that only lived experience can give. The most powerful voices in the world are always the voices of people who have been through something. Not the voices of people who only read about things. Not the voices of people who only study things from a distance. The voices that reach into the chest of another human being and move something there are the voices of people who have truly lived, who have truly suffered, who have truly overcome, and who are now giving their story away so that other people can overcome too. Your pain was not wasted. Your pain was preparing you, and now it is time to use what you have been prepared with. Comparison is a thief. I want to say one more thing before I bring this to a close, and this one thing may be the thing that unlocks everything for you. Stop comparing your assignment to someone else's assignment. Your purpose is not in competition with anyone else's purpose. There is no one else on earth trying to fulfill the exact same calling that is inside of you. You are not in a race with anyone. You are not behind anyone. You are not ahead of anyone. You are simply yourself on your own path with your own timing, your own gifts, your own people to reach. When you compare yourself to someone else, you take your eyes off your own road and put them on someone else's. And when you take your eyes off your own road, you stumble. You start trying to walk their road instead of yours. And because their road was not made for your feet, every step feels wrong and hard and like you are going the wrong direction because you are. There will always be someone who is further along than you. There will always be someone who appears to have more, achieved more, built more, been recognized more. But you do not know what that person paid to be where they are. You do not know what they gave up. You do not know what darkness they walked through. You are only seeing the front of the building. You have not seen the foundation they had to dig. You have not seen the seasons they built in the dark when no one was watching. And the other thing is this: that person's success does not take anything from you. The world is not a pie where if someone gets a big piece, your piece gets smaller. The world is more like a garden. When one flower blooms, it does not prevent the other flowers from blooming. It actually makes the whole garden more beautiful. When one person fulfills their purpose, they make it easier for other people around them to believe that purpose can be fulfilled. They become evidence that it is possible. So stop looking to the side. Stop looking behind you. Stop looking ahead at the person who seems to be further along. Look straight in front of you at the road that was made for your feet and start walking it. That is the only race you are in, and you cannot lose it because no one else is running it. Your assignment is calling. I want to bring this together now, and I want to do it with some urgency because you have been patient and you have been listening, and now it is time for you to do something with what you have heard. Let me say it simply. You were sent here for a reason. You were not placed here. You were sent here with a reason, with an assignment, with a gift inside you that the world is waiting for, with a specific problem that you were built to solve, with a specific people who are waiting to receive what is inside you, with a specific moment in history that is yours to fill. That assignment has been waiting since before you were born, and it will not wait forever. Time is moving. History is being written. And every day that you spend just existing, just getting through, just going through the motions, just living because you are alive and not because you are fulfilling something, is a day that your assignment goes undelivered. The world is not going to come and drag the gift out of you. Life is not going to force you to be great. The gift inside you is going to keep knocking, keep calling, keep sending you that feeling that something big is waiting for you. But whether you answer is entirely up to you. And I want you to answer today, not tomorrow, not next year, not when the conditions are better or the timing is right or you feel more ready. Today. Today, decide that you are done just existing. Today, decide that from this moment forward, you are going to live on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. Today, decide that the seed inside you is going to be planted and not kept in your pocket any longer. Look at your life honestly. Look at the thing inside you that keeps calling. Look at the gift that comes naturally to you. Look at the problem that makes your heart burn. Look at the people whose pain you feel more than anyone else around you seems to feel it. Look at the thing that makes you feel alive. Look at the work that does not feel like work. And then get to work. Not next Monday. Not when the new year comes. Today. Because the man standing at your future funeral, the one who looks exactly like you but richer and fuller and more at peace, that man is still a possibility. He has not disappeared. He is still available to you. The life he lived is still the life you could live. The assignment he fulfilled is still the assignment waiting inside you. You just have to decide that you are going to become him instead of watching him stand at your grave. The call to action. So let me close with this. Get out of the crowd. The crowd is full of people who are just existing. The crowd is comfortable. The crowd is familiar. The crowd will never challenge you to be more because the crowd has decided that less is enough. The crowd will pull you back every time you try to rise. Not because the crowd is evil, but because the crowd is afraid. And afraid people do not encourage brave people. Afraid people pull brave people back down to where afraid people are comfortable. Get out of the crowd. Find your assignment. The thing that makes you feel alive. The thing that was in you before the world told you to be something else. The thing that comes back in the quiet moments. The thing that you think about when no one is watching. Find that thing. Plant your seed. Stop keeping the forest in your pocket. Stop keeping the gift inside you and not letting it grow. Plant it. Give it to the ground. Give yourself to the work. Break open and let what is inside you come out. Do it now. Not because you are ready. You will never feel fully ready. Do it because the world needs what is inside you, and the world cannot wait any longer. Do it because the people who need what you carry are waiting right now. Do it because you were sent here to do it, and everything else you have done with your life, good and bad, easy and hard, has been preparing you for this moment. Start your assignment today. Not because it is easy. It is not easy. Not because it is safe. It is not always safe. Not because everyone will understand. They will not at first. But because you were sent here for something. And you know what it is. And it is time to stop just living and start fulfilling your purpose. Go. The world is waiting.